All right, welcome to part one review of the Warrior Burn Head, inspired by Trevor Baptiste, his brainchild. I'm really excited to start this review for him and Warrior as in general. I think this is a great time for face-off heads. We saw the new revamped Dual come out at the end of last year. Obviously, the Mark IIF, the ECD head just dropped, and now Warrior is getting into the mix. So, without further ado, this is the Warrior Burn. Okay, Trevor just sent this to me, so it's got a couple of face-offs in it, but we're going to go over the spec review in part one like I traditionally do, so we can take a look at this, and we're going to look at it first from the face shape. So the face shape reminds you of, yes, a CEO, and you're going to hear that over and over again. Why? Because that was Trevor's head throughout his college career, and that's exactly what you're going to see as far as flex point and durability. And I think the goal was to take what Trevor already liked and just improve upon it. So that's basically what it's going to be reminded of you constantly with this head. Same, almost identical face shape as CEO. So you already know what you're getting into. It's a face flexing head, 99% face flex. And that's what they're shooting for. So we'll see in the second part of our review if that's the case. So let's start at the throat. Obviously, the insertable throat, which has become very popular thanks to the original Dual. So, now we're going to have a shorter throat here. The throat is solid. And holding this thing originally, the plastic type, the throat, and kind of like the strength of the sidewalls reminds me right away of the Nas. Okay, so just get that in your head. Like, that's kind of the plastic that I'm feeling here, and we'll see how it reacts. But it reminds me a lot of the Nas. The throat is solid. It's really strong, and obviously, if you guys remember, the strength of the CEO was from here up. This thing was a tank, and you would drive the ball stop straight into the ball. So it makes perfect sense that this would be strong. The sidewall struts are a little different on either side. This mimics a CEO a lot. Okay, you can tell it's built to forward flex, and that's the top rail. So that'll peel back so you can drive this throat in. The bottom sidewall, I know that the thought process behind some of the basically some of the advertisement was one side's thicker than the other. I don't really see that in the sidewalls. I don't see a definitive difference in thickness, but the design is such where it looks like this sidewall, the bottom one, is designed to kind of come up underneath the ball. At least based on where the struts go, and that certainly seems like the way it's going to go, but we'll see. And then the scoop is solid. I mean, this scoop is going to be great. It's angled the right way. You can see kind of the taper here. It's designed to come in. You might even be able to get ground balls at a higher angle, one-handed in traffic, which will help. So the sidewalls are all built to last. This is definitely going to be a forward flexing head. You can tell by looking at it. The throat, it's got 2 screws in the back here. So, I mean, this is pretty much exactly what we thought it was going to be. So out of the box, looking at this spec-wise, it's got a very slight taper to have a kind of an offset feel that Warrior's known for. So that's going to be cool as far as cradling the ball in traffic after you pick up the ball, to try to give you guys who are quote-unquote fosos a little bit more of a head that you can use after the play. So, we've got ourselves a Warrior Burn. Like I said, the plastic, very similar to the Nas. Face shape, flex point looks like it's going to be very identical to a CEO. And then the shorter throat. Obviously, all the things that you'd be looking for if you were a CEO guy. Holding this now, I haven't taken reps with it yet, and I will. I don't see why you would keep using a CEO after this is out. So we'll see. A very different flex than all the other heads on the market, right? So we have the Mark IIF, thinner, designed to wrap around the ball. That's a different type of plastic, traditionally strict FOGO head. Then you have the Dual 2, stronger throat than the 2F, a little bit stronger on 50/50s, but once again, that thing kind of bends back and forth. That is a definitive FOGO head as well. You have the ECD head, which has a dramatic offset, bends on an angle like those other 2 heads, and that's going to be more for your face-off stay-on guy. And now this head is going to be the first short-throated head designed to face flex. We'll see. It might surprise me. It might go on an angle. Based on how I face off, I'm more of an oblique guy, so we'll see. but the second edition of our review will be a performance review. So I will get to work immediately on this, and we will start seeing what this does when we beat it up. I'm going to take it to draw day tonight, and I'm going to let the guys kind of get after it on Wednesday night here and see what they think, and then we'll have some good reviews as well. So the spec review is here. The performance review is coming up in a couple of days. So here you go. Warrior burn. Here's the angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's not forget the other part of this head, the accessory, is the Warrior Wedge, something that's becoming prevalent on the market now. Face-off heads that are coming out are also having spacers. Obviously, I have never been a fan of the softball situation, jamming softballs into the head, creating this huge push back and forth on the plastic. It gets shot real quick, and the longevity of your head goes completely into the toilet. So Warrior has designed this wedge that fits right in on the sidewall. Click it in, and it gives you a great spacer without overdoing it. So the Warrior Wedge is very lightweight. This will very strong, easily go in your bag. You can throw it on the sideline. It's a lot easier than dealing with a softball. Throw your name in tape on the corner here and just use this on the sideline. This is great. So this was very well designed. The Warrior Wedge, it's a solid piece of plastic that spaces your head out perfectly, especially for this head in particular. So take a look at that. We're going to go over both and how this works as this continues to get warped a little bit as we try to drive it in on the performance review.